Hi everyone, it's Maria from Checker, and today I want to talk to you about the Easy Point and Turner and the large Easy Point and Turner from Famore and Suki Sews. Famore and Suki Sews have collaborated on these handy tools to bring you a wonderful way to turn things right side out after sewing. The Easy Point and Turners come in two handy sizes, the original large and the newer compact size. So depending on what size project you're working on, one might suit your day better than the other. They both have a pointed tip. This can be used for smoothing out seams after you turn your project right side out, as well as a grip for holding the strip or project in place while you turn it. The hollowed out tip, which is here, gives a perfect spot for the pointed tip to hold the fabric while you work. And it's the best end to load your project onto before turning. We're going to start with a strip of fabric. I have simply folded it right sides together and stitched a 1/4 inch seam. I'm going to load this sewn strip onto the hollowed out tip side. The smaller version, you can load a width of fabric strip, or approximately 40 to 42 inches, onto one side of the tool. Be careful not to twist as you're doing this. It'll make turning much easier when you get to that point. You can see how full that gets right onto that half of the tool. I'm going to take the end of the strip about 1/2 inch beyond that hollowed out tip and clamp it together just like that. If you can, straighten out about a hand's width of fabric to get it started. The trickiest part is going to be to get that first little bump moved over. There we go. Normally I would use a big safety pin. Look at how slick that is. I'm going to keep going until I can see the right side of my tube, and there it is. Keep shifting and scrunching if you need to. Now you can release your grip, pull that right off of that side, and straighten that tube out just like that. If I'm going to do a handle or decoration or a strap or whatever, I'm going to press that tube before I do anything else. Choose if you're going to have the seam to the side or in the middle or whatever your project instructions tell you to do. For the large one, I can fit 90 inches onto this. So if I sew 2 strips together, which sometimes tote bags need that long of a strip to make the handles, I will be able to load all of that onto that larger size. Work out some kinks as you go there. And there you go. So same thing, I'm going to pull a little bit over, clamp it in place, and turn that right side out. To insert belting to make tote bag straps, you might want to give the tube a nice press I'm going to position the seam on the back side here, and I'm going to slide that tube back onto the hollowed out tip side of the tool. And I will tell you, this is much easier to hang on to than my large safety pin. I'm going to take that strapping, I'm going to fold the tip of it to make a small spot to start, and clamp that into place just like I would with the fabric tube. And I'm going to start pulling that strip over the end of my strapping. And look at how much easier it is to load that in instead of using that safety pin like I used to. Once you get that tube fully loaded, you should be able to see the end of the strapping right there. I can let go with the tube, pull it off that pointed end, and simply straighten my tube out over that strapping in order to make my handle. How clever is that? Now you can cut it to length if needed, top stitch it, decorative stitch it, whatever you desire. This is also a great way to insert piping, elastic, cording, or any stabilizer, maybe batting strips that you would use to fill your handles, or decorative strips for a project. The Easy Point and Turner is also great for small projects like in the hoop mug rugs and coasters, pockets, applique shapes that you stitch to a light stabilizer before turning to finish edges, like this circle here. I'm going to insert that blunt end again and make sure I clamp onto the seam allowance on the outside here so I don't accidentally poke a hole through my project, although this point really isn't sharp enough to poke holes. Turn that right side out over the tool. Look at that. And now I'm going to use the pointed end to go in here and smooth out those edges. Simply gently run it along the seam line. The circle is an easy shape to see, but you can see I'm just hitting the edge of the fabric and the stitching. And then you're going to have to stitch that hole closed just like you would any kind of stitch and turn applique. But that easy, it can be turned right side out. This would also be great for turning pillows or pockets or anything that you've had to stitch right side out. Now I've got a little square here, and I am leaving myself a hole for turning. I stitch to the corner, and then I fold that seam allowance over before I stitch the next side, and you'll see why here in a minute. That's going to give me a nice crisp corner to my squares. Insert that tool. Start with a corner, clamp it onto that seam allowance. Turn that square right side out. Now this could be as big as a 20-inch pillow or whatever you're making that needs to be sewn right sides together and then turned right side out. Take that pointed tip again and poke that corner out. Careful not to look at that nice sharp square tip there. Smooth out the rest of that. Poke out the other corners. Another crisp corner. My little pocket is ready to press and stitch into place. So that was a quick look at the Easy Point and Turner tools. Thanks so much for watching today. Be sure to like us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay up to date with the latest products and all of our video demos. And I'll see you all real soon.